listening wherever you may be. Welcome to the One Perspective to Another podcast. I am your humble and gracious host, A. Sanders, here with another episode. This is episode 162, and I have a title this time. It's actually called, or this is an Evergreen on Infinite. That's the title of this episode. I actually put some thought into it, but also to appreciate everybody who's been listening or going back and listening. The numbers really matter. Listening wherever you pick and choose something to listen to. There is no end all be all for how I do my podcast. Like, it's just about perspective and thought provoking conversations, whether it's music, movies, sports, life. But I mean, I always pick and choose intangibles and tangibles. So with that being said, we're following suit. No guests this week. I'm supposed to have an outline, but people don't know how to email anymore. So I guess we'll see what we do about that. But without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. And like I said with the title, this is a evergreen episode on Infinite. And I'm going to say with the definition of it, shout out to Thanos, because this is a Thanos thought-provoking idea or podcast, because I fuck with Thanos. I love Thanos. He was right. But the definition is a limitless or endless in space, extent or size, impossible to measure or calculate. And I say that with an evergreen thought on Infinite, that there is no such thing as infinite in all aspects that we hope that things are, but nothing really lasts forever. Even the universe has its end. Even time has its end. Everything has its end. But in the moment, in our presence, it may feel like it's forever, or we hope that it feels like forever. But they say also too, just in writing and working on this book, like they say, if you do the same thing over and over and over again, it makes you crazy. But just in thought, like, if you do that, isn't that the same thing that makes you great? Because they say when you start seeing the same themes over and over again, like, that means that it's vital, right? So I'm like definitely taking that into account while I've been writing. And this is one of those thoughts, like, is there such thing as infinite in our moments, in our times? Because the mold that I've been in, or just like seeing people, seeing the world, because to me, there's still just, I still feel like I'm like 14, 15 years old, just like navigating through shit. But like, people call me old, people's kids call me fucking boomer, and it's just like, what? I don't really get it. I get it. I mean, I understand. I'm in my fucking 30s, but like, I don't feel old yet. I may got gray hairs and shit, but like, I just don't feel it. And like, it makes me feel, I don't know how it makes me feel. It makes me question where my thoughts are, or what I'm doing, or where I'm going. But like, back onto the infinite topic, I guess you could say, like, I'm just coasting. Like, that's my default is being me. That's me. Like, I'm always gonna have the laugh, the goofiness to it, the simpleness to it, but also the thought provoking and the deepness to it, because I don't want to just be on the surface. And it's more to that. But this roller coaster thought of infinite and infinities is mostly just because of things that I've been writing, or things that I've been using, or quotes that I've been writing about that I feel have become like quintessential. Like I said, with the doing the same thing over and over makes you crazy, but isn't that what makes you great? And another one I have, like this little preview to the preview, but another one's like, if I stop, then we stop. And these all relate back to infinite. Like, there's not an infinite amount of energy that one person can give to another. There's no infinite amount of time that you can spend with somebody. There's no infinite amount of money that you can get that will always be here. Like, there is an end. And I relate that to me personally for like context is like dealing with the loss of a parent. For me, it's not Evergreen anymore, but it will be. Next month, October 27th is going to be 7 years for the passing of my mom. And those aspects, like, I don't really like to count, but you count because you know the days. But like I say, going back to me feeling like a kid, like I still do feel like a kid. And you think that your parents are going to be around forever. And family, not even just a parent, just somebody that you care about, somebody, a loved one, and dealing with grief. Like, there's no infinite, and you don't think that there's an infinite in dealing with grief, but you think there's an infinite in dealing and having somebody there unconsciously, everlasting, for infinity. The quintessential aspect of knowing that there is an unconditional love there. Like, that is an evergreen on infinite. Like, you think that something is permanent, but it's not. And the pain or the turmoil that you go through is what we call grief. And seeing a lot of people, specifically dealing with losing a parent, I've seen a lot of people recently, like since probably like a couple pre-COVID, but a lot during COVID and after COVID, of losing a parent and realizing, like, fuck, I'm not a kid anymore. But fuck, I still have a little kid personality, and just seeing people going through the motions, seeing people going through grief. Like, I know the feeling, I've been there, like I've experienced it. I'm still going through it and still like looking for my own infinite towards it. But understanding, like, yo, like, this is a part of it. This is a part of the evergreen towards infinity. Like, it's not just it being a pause and then life just goes on. It's like always with you. It's always you growing. It's always a you doing more, a you doing better, you doing the same thing over and over and over again. And the way I'm explaining it, I don't know if it really makes sense, but when I wrote it down, it does, because there's no choice but for you to choose. And I relate it to the other things, like taking away the personal aspect of it, but the things that I see in the world, like, for example, love and dealing with marriage, and like our bodies, our time. Like, we have to choose every single day to put in that effort. We have to choose every single day to love somebody. We have to choose every single day to do something about our bodies, to nourish them. I don't mean like health. I mean like the simplicity of your body. Like, you can go above and beyond and do the bodybuilding and eating all the herbs and all that stuff. But I mean like the simple, bare necessities of just living and being human. Like, I wrote a post about it recently, or I reposted something that I posted in like 2017, and it just talked about how being human is difficult, and it kind of came full circle because that's what I'm writing my book on. It's just the monthly check-in to understand and be comfortable with self. But it just talked about like how we go above and beyond to see what's overextended of us. Like, when are we checking in on us? When are we checking in on how we feel? When are we checking in on how we're managing ourselves? Because the outward fires that everybody has to deal with, like, yeah, they're important, but like, you have to be able to understand what's important to choose. And that first thing that's always the most important is you. Kind of giving away all my tea, but like, I have some good sayings or good quotes or whatever you want to call them. But like, I always tell people, like, only you open your eyes. Nobody else can open your eyes. there's not an infinite amount of time that you're going to open your eyes, but the time that you do is important. And you got to make sure that you spend it on you. And after you spend it on you, whatever you can give, whatever you can pour into somebody else and pour into somebody else's cup, that's important too, because you never know how that might help somebody's day. That might help somebody just be more present. But I apply it to the other things too, in like relationships and your passions, your job, whether you're the CEO, the entrepreneur, like that infinite effort is important too, because you got to choose to be present. You have to choose it every single time. Like, it's more important to choose to be in than it is to act like you're not, like to act like you're not in love, to act like you're not married, to act like you don't care about something, to act like you don't care about being here, to act like you don't care about being at work. Like, I don't know if I make simple things sound harder than they are, but I just see so many people misusing them and mistreating them and taking it out of context and not being appreciative of the time and the moment that we have infinite, the time that we have where it feels infinite when we're really just at its infancy. There's a lot of infinite in this episode, but that's the episode. Like, it's about infinite and it not being really present, but it's something that we hope for. Because that was another thing I was saying about, like, I know there's no such thing as forever, but I sure do want to get there, whether it's with love, whether it's life, with happiness, with peace, with serenity, like all of those things. Like, it's important to me. I don't know if it is for you, but like I always say, it's just my perspective. Like, you don't have to agree to disagree, or we can just find the middle. But like I said too, it's literally just my perspective of how I see the word or the evergreenness of infinite. But I just wanted to put that out there. For the me personally part, definitely getting my hibernation on. Because I know a lot of people are going into this fall and winter in a different perspective, coming out, getting out of COVID, being able to do things that you didn't do before, and just getting comfortable again. So it's just a little plea to people, I guess you could say, to myself, for whenever I listen back to this as well, to just be able to choose what you want to be for infinity and be able to choose it happily and without fight and without haste, and just know that it's true. You can't pick and choose and fight towards something that you love without a little bit of gripe, but at the same time, it's okay. So, with that being said, this is episode 162. I don't know if this is going to be the last one for a little while, but we'll see. I think the least I can do is keep my consistency up and do these every 2 weeks, because it's just a little tidbit of what goes through my mind and where I'm at. But I'm really trying to finish this book before the year is over. So we'll see. But as always, it's just my perspective. Tell 2 friends to tell 2 friends. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share on all your socials, because I'm not on social right now. So if you hear it, send the link, copy and paste it, send it to everybody in your contact book. Send it to your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your side piece, your situationship, the whole 9 yards, because I really do appreciate it, and it helps me a lot. And we out.